Eurobox presents Memoirs of a Refugee, written by Takacs. Memoirs of a Refugee is a deeply moving, vivid, and unforgettable account of courage, love, disappointment, displacement, and resilience in the shadow of a war and political oppression. Born in Budapest in 1947, just 2 years after the end of World War II, Takacs grew up in a Hungary caught between devastation and dictatorship. Through her eyes, we witness life under Soviet occupation, the fear, restrictions, the quiet resistance, and the strength of family bonds that held everything together when the world outside was unstable and often unjust. Let's welcome the author of this book, who's right now connected with us to present her book. Hi, Egi. Thank you for accepting our invitation, first of all.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a very exciting time for me.
You describe in this book your childhood with such vivid detail and also warmth, even during difficult times. How did you manage to preserve those memories so clearly?
Well, it all started in lockdown, when time was hanging heavy on one's hands and in the air. And I sat down and I thought I would like to record for my children, for my two sons, my childhood. And so I started jotting down stories. And the more I wrote down, the more seemed to come back to my consciousness, and I wrote it all down. And eventually it almost took on a life of its own. And you have the end result, which is Memoirs of a Refugee. And even then I had no intention of it being published. I forwarded it to my younger son, Richard, and he phoned me and he said, "But this is fantastic. I would like you to try and publish it. Let's do that." I thought, don't talk me rot. It's not for that. I didn't do it for that. But here you are. It appears that I did.
Yeah. We anticipated that family plays a central role in your story. In what ways did your family's strength shape your ability to survive and also to adapt as a refugee?
Clearly, it came from my parents, who received it from their family basics behavior. And it was being aware of kindness to others, being grateful for any kindness received. And we continue to behave in this way in our new environment, and very conscious and being grateful for what was shown to us and given to us by the Scots, and which allowed us to settle in so very nicely in that environment, which is where we ended up in Scotland.
Sure. So looking back now, how do you feel your identity was shaped by leaving Hungary and starting again in a new country?
Well, it made me stronger. I think it does. It allows one to find one's strength in the face of adversity. And I'm delighted because I've become a globetrotter. Nothing stayed about our family. We traveled a lot. And I think that is a big strength to have.
If you could share just one message with your readers today about displacement, about resilience, what would you want them to take away from your story?
It's almost a cliche, but we are never handed something emotional to deal with in our lives that we cannot deal with. We have the inner strength at all times to do that. And the more we practice adversity, overcoming it, this becomes a lot clearer and I won't say easier, but we seem to follow a certain outline of having the certainty that we can deal with it. And so don't be frightened. Don't be frightened, I think, by adversity facing you.
I love it. Thank you for this positive message. We wish you best luck with your book, Egi, and thank you again for giving us this time for this chat.
I'm delighted. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
What makes Memoirs of a Refugee so compelling is its humanity. The political backdrop is powerful, but it is the personal stories, the daring border crossing of a father, the resilience of a mother, the wisdom of a grandmother, the strength of family love in general that stay with the reader long after the final page. Memoirs of a Refugee, written by Takacs, is now available in bookstores and digital platforms. It's a publication by Eurobooks.